Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're taking a look at a Zerg vs Terran game here on our new map, Dominator. Up in the top left-hand side of the map, we have Killer, one of the most underrated Zergs in the world, and I hope that one day, after I've said this enough, you guys all rate him high enough that I can stop saying it. Down here in the bottom left, we have Speed, who's in absolutely great shape lately. This guy has been grinding super hard. Did make it into ASL, so very excited to see how he's going to end up placing. And yeah, here we go. This is Gladiator. I mean, a Gladiator remake, rather, right? Like, you're gonna notice as you see this map, and of course, I guess I should preface this because I know not everyone who watches here, is maybe completely caught up with like the ASL maps or the Brood War ladder, but basically each ASL season the maps get switched over to the rotation they're doing right now is ASL maps plus Polypoid plus Fighting Spirit. Those two maps, like, people like Fighting Spirit's old and comfortable for a lot of people. And Polypoid is one of the better maps ever designed, balance-wise and whatnot. So, yeah, those two maps remain. But anyways, this is basically a remake of Gladiator. They took out one of the 4 starting mains to make it into a 3-player map and added some extra expansions around the map. Definitely better map design. Still has some of the crazy things about Gladiator on it as well, though. So right now, taking a look at what's going on here, this is going to be a very nice tight wall for Speed, so he's going to be able to expand very quickly and be completely safe behind here. Killer, in the meantime, looks like he's going for like a pretty standard play. Going to be a nice and fast layer coming out of him. Looks like probably it'll end up being a 2-hatch layer, but of course we'll see about that. Marine getting started. He actually does go second depot. Okay, because once you get up here and see the timing of this, especially when you have the wall, you can just not make the depot, make the command center, and make a Marine later with a depot there, and that'll just be like a better economy overall. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and send the SCV up here to get this started. One Marine going out in the front. I'm not sure what that's really meant to do. Maybe a little bit of scouting, see if there's an overlord somewhere. I don't know. He's not obviously going to really find anything with this. There's actually, I've seen a lot of pros do this where they send their very first Marine if it's close spawns. This is a 3-player map, so it's not close spawns. But basically, it can get there and damage one drone and turn around and get home before Zerglings are made. But the thing is, this is further spawns, so like, the fact of the matter is no lings were made. It's only drones being made. So this Marine actually turns out to be very strong. That's kind of crazy because no lings were made. Like, if any Zerglings had been made, then this just dies, right? So kind of a crazy call. And he gets a drone. That's insane. Things you can't do on the ladder, part 1. But yeah, a super greedy play here is punished. Getting 0 drones altogether. That is a really great drone block right there. So this Marine going to get picked off. Not going to be able to get a secondary kill. Actually, it felt like for a moment that he might be able to get that, but I guess not. Anyways, let's go back and look at Speed's base, see what he's up to. So he actually went second barracks and he went academy. So what he's doing here is just a standard 2 barracks academy rush. He put on good pressure with that first Marine. So this push that we're going to be seeing, if you look at the timing of this academy, how it's like, look at how far done it is. He's going to be able to move out with probably 7 Marines and 2 medics or a medic and a firebat, something like that. Somewhere in that range. And yeah, it looks like it's gonna be 7 Marines, and then we'll see if he goes double medic or medic firebat. But he's gonna be able to move out before mutas are ready. So there's actually, like, this looks pretty darn good for him. So he does go double medic, and he'll just have to wait for those. You can see the 7 Marines. He's actually hiding these 3 from this overlord seeing. This looks like it could be a +1 rush. And without seeing the additional 3 Marines, he's just not really aware. And you see it's like pure drones being made, right? 2 lings only on the map, no sunkens or anything. This is going to force an instant 2 sunkens coming out of And he hears the scan. So when you hear the scan, you're like, okay, it might be Academy Rush. Now, this is going to be an instant 2 Sunkens going up. Now, if Speed goes and finds this, he's going to be way ahead. Very good choice as far as build orders go when you look at what this is lined up against Killer. This is exactly what you're looking for. Like, forcing these 2 Sunks. If he just randomly goes up here, well, it's not random, obviously, right? Like, you can definitely rotate up there and check. But if he goes up there and forces a cancel, huge. Just huge. So he's going to see the 2 Sunks. Oh, my God. Speed is going to be so far ahead here. Now, yeah, the drone gets canceled. So he actually doesn't even know, but that did put him well ahead. This has to be very, very frustrating for Killer. Speed is very likely to go home from here. He doesn't want to lose these Marines to the mutas that are going to be coming out. And when your opponent is roaming on the map like that, oftentimes what the Zerg will do is counter very hard with mutas. Just rally nothing but mutas down and just count on the fact that the opponent has a lot of Marines missing. And you can see these are going to hunt for another expansion. He thinks that there is another expansion. He's right about the call because there was a hatch, but it got canceled before he got up there. So that actually works out really well in Killer's favor because these Marines and medics are on a wild goose chase. So that was like a very good cancel from him. We have more turrets being made. Kind of a tight area down here. Looks like Killer going to start killing off some of these missile turrets. But yeah, this is basically the counterplay that you see. If you can't do something like a Zergling counterattack when something like this moves out, just because it's on the map, you have more ability to deal damage with these Mutalisks. And, I mean, so far he is getting some, right? 27 SCVs is actually very low. It's like a very poor SCV count. You know, at this stage of the game, you really want to have minimum 33 SCVs. So he's killing a very fair amount of workers here. Or maybe I read the drones there, but still, it's still very, very low. 25 is not that good. Ooh, eats a couple hits more than he really should have. Now he's going to be able to hit down here. More Marines and medics coming out. Like, he just needs to make some more sunks. See, that scan just went down. He's really thinking about the counterattack because these mutas are dealing way too much damage to him right now. If Killer actually identifies what's going on and gets the defense up, he's just going to win this game. Like, literally, all he needs to do right now is have 4 sunken colonies. But he's not doing it. I think he's just completely missing what he needs to do here, unfortunately, because his mutas did so much damage. All right, going to stim up. This is a lot of Marines and medics, but actually just enough mutas here for Killer. Speed starts to pull back. Not a lot of economy for Killer either, by the way. See, like, he's making some more. He's going to go up to, it looks like, 5 sunks, which is fine. Has his 3rd base, but obviously that is killable. Little dive in. 11 mutas are going to take down 2 turrets easily, really, without any even losses. So it does end up taking that out. Wow, very good glaives there. And Killer is actually just destroying now with just that 2 base economy. He was on sub 20 drones for a little bit, but still doing a great job with that Mutalisk Micro. Going to kill off this turret as well and just continue to rotate around and kill more. Ooh, actually does not commit onto that one. Probably would have lost 1 to 2 mutas for another swipe since the Marines are already there. So nice pullback. Speed has +1. He has lots of Marines, so there's still potential here for him to end up holding on. Killer comes back to the barracks. Very good choice here, I think, from Killer to keep pressure on the barracks. I think if he's really aggressively utilizing his Mutalisks here and causing damage to the barracks, it kind of forces Speed to stay home, right? Normally what you want to do in Speed's position is force the mutas to be out on the map, stopping your Marines and medics. Here, we see the mutas forcing the Marines and medics to stay at home. So this is allowing him to get his drone count up, to get his tech up. You can see at Queen's Nest and Hydraulis Den coming up. Lots of drones being made at that 3rd base. And he did end up getting that barracks, which is quite nice. So another 3rd barracks, a new 3rd barracks on the way. Still rotating through, getting a lot of damage. Way more drones than SCVs at the moment. A very hard base to defend. You can see the minerals are mostly to the back here. They're totally to the back here. Here, they're only partially to the back. And you have all this wide open area. And then you also have this side. And it's like, damn, man, you need a lot of turrets to try to defend this. Probably this position is one from which you should think about doing like a Valkyrie rush, honestly. This just doesn't look super defendable. And of course, this map is very, very new, so people haven't completely mapped out the way to play, but you can see here, Killer just abusing speed. Like, really, yeah, that's going to be GG. So this was excellently played by Killer. This, like, maybe a little bit of like a straightforward game for sure, but those are sometimes the best ones for learning, right? So I just want to jump back here to the move out, right? So if you hit this, so let me just give a really brief history of strategic development of the 2-Rax Academy build, right? Because the 2-Rax Academy rush was basically starting to get used in response to 3rd base being taken with 3rd hatchery, right? So the whole point is you move out at 5 minutes so that you're out before the mutas are out and you can kill the base, okay? And it forces 2 sunks. So that's the whole point behind this build. Now, the biggest counterplay to this build is getting speed Zerglings and counterattacking with them. And almost always that ends up in Zerg's favor. But if they have a wall that's tight like this, you can still do the 2-Rax Academy. That being said, you do have to lift, so you're going to miss some production time, probably 1 unit on the barracks. And yeah, like the wall lets you do anything you want, kind of. So a lot of people prefer to do something like a +1 to have a heavier mid game instead of a heavier early game. But this does do the same thing where it kind of stops that Zergling counterattack, right? So that's good. Like I mentioned, the only other real counterplay to this build, other than the Speedling attack, which you can't do against this, is to just heavily Mutalisk harass because these units are gone. So the important part of this game, I just want to show you real quick before we go here. So this is the important part, right? We see the hatchery here. Watch. Didn't see the drone. Incredibly important. Incredibly important. If he saw this get canceled, this Marine medic group would have gone home to defend against the mutas. The thing is, he is quite aware. Like, he did a scan earlier, and if you don't see a hatch, like down here, then you know there's a hatch on the map because he hasn't made speedlings, right? So you just have that extra money. 100% there's a hatch somewhere. So that's why this group roams and heads over to here and allows the Mutalisks to do damage. Because if you kill the hatch, you're going to be ahead, and you can take some damage at home for that. So a wonderful cancel here from Killer. I actually like the build that Speed did. I think Speed actually played the game very, very well. He just missed that cancel. So that was some high-level stuff. That was some high-level stuff. I hope that you guys like that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.